Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. Coordination, the linking system. Children, this is the fifth lesson. Very interesting. You know that the ability to respond to stimuli is a fundamental characteristic of all living organisms. All living organisms have a basic need to control their systems. One of the most important requirements for controlling all the factors of the body is a system of rapid internal communication. The cells and organs of the body do not work independently. Their activities are coordinated, isn't it? Which means that they work together, carrying out their various functions at certain times and at certain rates according to the need of the body. Coordination in mammals, means higher vertebrates, is achieved through two systems, each with its own particular role. What are they? The nervous system, which deals with the rapid and short lasting responses, whereas the endocrine system that brings about slower, longer lasting responses. Okay? The nervous system consists of cells and tissues in multicellular animals, and it conveys the information between sensory cells and organs. It controls and coordinates the different systems of the body. Okay, particularly the nervous system performs very important functions. Let us briefly recall. The major functions of nervous system are to control and coordinate various body activities, both voluntary and involuntary, and also to regulate the internal environment of the body, to react to the environment through the sense organs. And the nervous system enables us to remember, to think, and to reason out. Isn't it? These are the main functions. All outside stimuli are perceived by the nervous system by means of sense organs, by means of our sense organs. The sense organs are called the gateways of knowledge. What is that subject which deals with the nervous system? Neurology. Neurology is the study of nervous system and the receptor organs. So are you ready, children? Let us know more about the coordination, the linking system. Okay, we will do different activities every day. So some of the activities which required coordination, let us discuss. Sharpening of a pencil. Sharpening a pencil. Grasping a doorknob. Walking or running or driving, and a few physical actions. They all involve well coordinated movements made with well balanced postures. Isn't it? To sharpen the pencil, you need to see, keen observation is required. You have to hold that blade or the sharpener properly. Okay? When you are walking, when you are running, when you are driving. So many physical activities involve the coordinated movements made with well balanced postures. Okay, in fact, whenever we move, the three basic functions, what are they? Movement, balance, and coordination. They work together to perform purposeful motions of body parts. Okay, any negligence definitely lead to some accidents, we can call it as, isn't it? Okay, we may fall down, we miss the balance, dislocation. Okay? This is actually quite a feat because moving is a complex process for the body. It is a complex process for the body. Even standing upright is a difficult challenge of balancing on just 2 feet with a narrow base. Okay? Yet, it is common for us not only to stand upright easily and apparently effortlessly, but also while keeping our balance to perform many other functions, isn't it? So if you observe keenly the reason behind, so there is a coordination between different organs present in our body. Okay, what other functions do you think needed in coordination and balance? For example, when you are playing football, how much coordination is required? The coordination between the hands and legs, balancing when you are kicking a ball, when you are crossing a road, the coordination between the eyes, body parts, legs. Okay, so many parts are involved, isn't it? So what other functions do you think needed in coordination? Where almost all functions need coordination. All our functions are carried out by an effort of several systems working together. For example, while movement, we hardly ever use just the skeletal system or muscular system alone. Several other systems also have their own roles to play. Even within the muscular system, several muscles work in a sequence or at once. What triggers the movement of the muscles? What triggers? It's a kind of path involving the way that the other organs, tissues and cells work. Okay? For example, when you are running, your muscles require more glucose, more energy than the remaining parts of the body. Your leg muscles require more energy. Your thigh muscles require more energy. So, there is a coordination. The circulatory system present in the body provides more glucose to the muscles of the limbs. That is called coordination. Okay? When you are reading, when you are concentrating, your brain requires more glucose. So the body provides more glucose to the brain. Okay? So like that, the coordination. So it is a kind of pathway involving the way that other organs, tissues and cells work. All of them pick up signals of change from their surroundings and respond to them. This process triggers different functions in our body as well as by our body. For example, it is natural to move to a side of the road when we hear or see a car approaching, isn't it? It's natural. Because the coordination, we are much alert when you are moving on the road, when you are crossing the road. Okay. What helps us to respond to such signals? Okay, responding to stimuli. The coordination is nothing but responding to stimuli. What helps us to respond to such signals? Signals nothing but stimuli. Why does the living body respond to such signals? We can think of a response as an effect of a change in the environment of the organism or signals of change. That is nothing but stimuli. What is a stimuli? Anything which brings response in the body is called a stimuli. All living organisms respond to stimuli. It is the basic characteristic feature of all living organisms, whether it is a microorganism or macroorganism, whether it is a plant or animal. Any living organism respond to stimuli. The cat may be running because it saw a mouse. Here the stimuli is mouse. Response of the cat is it is chasing the mouse. Plants grow towards the sunshine. Here the sunshine is the stimuli. Response, the growth of the plant towards the sunshine. Okay. We start sweating when it is hot and humid. Here the stimuli is hot environmental condition. Response is our skin responds to that heat and the sweat is produced. The ability to react to particular stimulus in a particular situation must be of great importance in ensuring the survival of the organism. Okay, even which you have studied in your lower classes about the adaptations in living organisms. They are also response to the stimuli only. If the organism is not responding to the stimuli, then it is not considered as a living. Okay. The ability to react to a particular stimulus in a particular situation must be of great importance in ensuring the survival of the organism. Here the term survival is used, not just living, surviving. In order to survive, some changes, adjust to the environment is required. There is a sequence of events that brings about responses. Okay. So responding to stimuli. So they start from detecting changes in environment, both external and internal environments. The body detects the changes or stimuli. What are those changes? The changes are nothing but the stimuli. Transmission of the information, processing of the same. Okay, that stimuli is carried and the processing of the information takes place. After that, okay, finally the response will detect and execute the appropriate action. Right, execute the appropriate action. In order to understand this, let us do an activity, a simple activity in the presence of your teacher. Okay, you can perform this activity. Let us do the following activity to find more about response to stimulus. Holding a falling stick. Holding a stick. Take a long scale or stick, at least half meter length. Keep your fingers in a holding position as shown in the figure. You can hold like this. Here it is mentioned, no? Like this you can mention. Like this you can hold. Okay. So could you hold it exactly at the point where it was suspended between your fingers? Yes. Mark the point where you caught the stick. Then how far up was this point from the end suspended between your fingers? You can note it. Why did this happens? So first you may hold. Okay, you are holding the position. Okay, you can watch it, the length, the height. Okay, at what height you are holding. So after some time there may be a change, you can observe. Mark the point where you caught the stick. How far up was this point from the end suspended between your fingers? Why did this happens? How fast do you think the process was? Means these are all the responses. Ask your friend to hold the stick, scale near the end, and let the other end be suspended between your fingers. Let there be a very small gap around a centimeter between your thumb and the stick or a scale. And the stick or scale or and the four fingers, there must be a little gap. Now let your friend allow it to fall. Okay, your friend, ask your friend to pull it down. Try to hold it. The responses are brought about by rapid changes in some muscles, and such changes are usually related to changing stimuli. Okay, when somebody is pulling it down, automatically when you are concentrating, when you are holding it, you try to grip it. Okay, rapidity of response indicates an efficient communication system linking those parts that pick up stimuli to those that trigger a response. Okay, so it is a linking system. Stimulus is the question, response is the answer. We can say the integrated pathways it involves. Okay, or we can say it is called coordination. So here your sense organs, you are touching it, you are feeling it, that is moving down. It is going to fall down if you leave it. So that's why you are holding it tightly, isn't it? And you are seeing it with your eyes. So some signals reach, some stimuli reach your brain, and immediately the responses are generated. Okay, the rapidity of response indicates an efficient communication system linking those parts that pick up the stimuli to those that trigger a response. Okay, the faster the stimuli reach, the faster the response is generated. It is the integrating pathways. We can call it as nervous coordination. What makes this kind of communication possible? The Greeks believed that all functions of the body were controlled by the brain, since damage to that organ produced remarkable changes in behavior. Okay, so Greeks, ancient time, they believed that all the functions of the body were controlled by the brain. So they observed that in the people with a damaged brain, they produce remarkable changes in their behavior. Okay, if any injury or wound occurred to the brain, they had very little idea on how such control could be exercised. Okay, though Galen was a Greek philosopher. He is a Greek physiologist. Physiologist means the person who study about the functions of the body. Okay, the subject which deals with the functional aspects of organisms is called physiology. The person who study physiology, okay, is called a physiologist. So he is a Greek physiologist, especially anatomy, okay, and the period is after death, that AD 129 to 200 in between. He made one notable observation. So one of his patients, he was a doctor, having suffered a blow on the neck when falling from his chariot, complained of loss of feeling in the arm while still retaining the normal muscular control of its movement. Okay, one of his patients. So he suffered a blow on the neck. So he is Mr. Galen. He is a Greek physiologist. So Galen concluded that nerves were of two kinds, those of sensation and those of action. What are the two kinds of nerves according to the Galen? The nerves, those of sensation and those of action. According to him, the blow in the neck had damaged the nerves of sensation but had not affected its action. So this was the observation of Galen. Okay. So why do you think Galen drew such a conclusion? Okay, what is his conclusion? He concluded that the nerves were two kinds, one of which is sensation and another one is of action. So the patient reported the problem due to the damage of nerves with sensation but not the action. The functioning of the nerves as integrating systems was little known till late 18th century. Okay. So then the physiologists began to study the mechanism of nerve functioning and found how signals were transmitted by making the connection between recent work on electricity and the propositions on working of the nervous system made till then. Okay, the scientists started, the physiologists began to study the mechanism, how the nerves are functioning. Now, we know more about how nerves from different sections of the brain and spinal cord control responses of different areas of the body. Now the knowledge is complete. We also know the probable pathways that transmit the information, but we still know very little about the working mechanisms of the nerve cells. Okay, in your lower class also you have studied nerve transmission. Okay, nerve impulse means there are stimuli reach the brain and spinal cord in the form of electrical impulses. At the same time, the response is also generated in the form of electrical impulses and reach the effector organs. It may be the hand, it may be the leg, or it may be eyelid or anything. Okay. But whatever the knowledge is update, but we know little about the working mechanism of the nerve cells. So in order to understand the function of nerve cell, we need to study the structure of nerve cell. Okay. Observe a permanent slide of nerve cell or neuron under microscope and try to find out its parts. Compare with the diagram given beside. Okay, you can study. Each nerve cell consists of cell body with a prominent nucleus. Okay, you can see here the picture. It is the nucleus. Each nerve cell consists of a cell body. So this part is called the cell body, up to here, cell body with a prominent nucleus. It is a eukaryotic cell. There are fine projections mainly of two types, extending from the cell body of the nerve cell. There are two types of projections. One is the projections with branched ones, they are called dendrites, they are short, and a long projection without branches, it is called a axon. Okay. The small projections are dendrites, while a long one that extends to different parts of our body, the axon. It is surrounded by a specialized insulatory sheath called myelin sheath. Okay, this is the long tubular projection without branches. It is called axon. The axon is surrounded and protected by a sheath that is called myelin sheath. This sheath, myelin sheath, is interrupted at regular intervals called nodes of Ranvier. Okay. So here, so this myelin sheath is interrupted at regular intervals. They are called nodes of Ranvier or Ranvier nodes. Next, the myelin sheath is made up of special cells. They are called Schwann cells and chiefly consist of fatty material. They are made up of fatty material. So axons not having the sheath are non-myelinated fibers, or they are also called non-myelinated axons. The covering also forms a partition between adjacent axons. The nerve cell body lies either in our brain or spinal cord or very close to the spinal cord in a region called dorsal or ventral root ganglion. Dorsal ganglion or ventral root ganglion. In the brain or spinal cord, it is difficult to make out the difference between dendrites and axons on the basis of their length. Often, the presence of sheath helps us to find out, but several axons here do not have sheath. Okay, if sheath is present on the axon, then it is a myelinated neuron or myelinated axon. So in order to distinguish between the axon and dendrites, it is not easy. Okay, if myelin sheath is there, we can identify, but if it is not there, most of the axons without myelin sheath are also present in the brain and spinal cord tissues. Okay, children, more about the neuron we are going to discuss in the next class. Please read the textbook, clarify the doubts with the regular teacher. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.